I do believe that it's a huge market. It's going to be $1 trillion market, Metaverse.
No, sir.
Let's not confuse augmented
It's
reality
going
with
to
Metaverse.
be everything. Let me say it closely. Let me get ready now. It's going to be everything.
All right, welcome to episode number 12. It's been a while, brother. How you doing, partner? Marcus Holyman. It's in the house.
I'm in the house
What a wild
all day and day.
What a wild month we had. A lot of work, a lot of restructuring, a lot of organizing the business.
Yeah.
And now we're back after 1 month of a real nice break called vacation, called stress vacation.
Vacations, getting ready for the golden quarter, holiday sales. We got to get, had to get positioned for that.
We got to get positioned on that. So we got an amazing month. Now we're back fresh, right? We got a lot of topics that our team pool actually
Got to keep it rolling every time we go out. People are like, hey, what's up with the show, man? Let's go.
Let's fit them.
We've been slacking on our pimping. Let's roll.
We're slacking our pimping.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's 5 o'clock already that should be taking some drinks, but
It's always 5 o'clock.
it's always 5
I got
o'clock
a lot
in here.
of fives on my watch.
A lot of 5 on your watch. So let's talk real quick about the updates on the stock market.
Yeah.
All-time heights on the S&P 500, the Dow Jones. I got our team actually pulled some of the numbers.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Nasdaq, Dow Jones, S&P, all-time heights.
Yeah.
While on the other side, you have all-time heights on Bitcoin, all the crypto area as well.
Yeah.
Bitcoin right now hitting
60. It's like 63 a little while ago.
64,000.
64 today, intraday, and it came off of an all-time high.
last month it was $45,000.
And the month before that,
When you were in Tulum, it was $30,000.
it hit 29,000 intraday. Should have backed up the truck. Told you, So
30,000 right now is 65. You probably double your money in a
now
couple of
double
months.
in 2 months. Yep, off that.
But how do you know that? Unless you're a true believer on this crypto rally, which it's happening, man.
Well, now I am. I'm a crypto preacher.
Evangelist. So
I'm
you're
a preacher.
You're a turnover
I'm
crypto guy already.
I'm preaching the gospel. I'm saving all the souls. Come to Jesus. Come to crypto.
Well, we got a lot of topics we want to talk about.
Well, first, covering that stock market thing you're talking about. All this shit's going up because, the Fed's printing a lot of money right now. Well, they ain't even printing. They're just hitting enter on the computer. It's trillion. So you got all this quantitative easing. They're trying to fight COVID by throwing money at it. And we have so much fiat, so much currency in the system right now that money's chasing all these assets because there's so much easy money in the system. Not for regular people, not for your working people, but for all these bankers and these people that are part of the Fed system. Yeah, there's a lot of money for the billionaires, and they're chasing all these assets, which is driving the price up on everything. So it's going crazy.
Which is funny that you mentioned that because I was reading an article this morning on the Wall Street Journal that now, because of all this pump of money, right, that the central bank itself have accumulated and inject into the system, right? Now, what they want to do is the opposite now. Every month, the central bank was injecting $120+ billion a month on buying securities to keep the interest rate low for a long time, almost to a point that it was 0% the interest rate. Now, fast forward, post-COVID, they want to now stop the brakes. Australia is doing it. England is about is about to do it. The ECB, the European Central Bank, is doing it as well. And then also as well, China is about to do it as well. Why is this? To combat the number one enemy in finance right now, which is inflation. And it's crazy how everything will unfold in the next upcoming months. Because now they want to pull the brake.
Hey, the train's already off the tracks. You can't put the jack back in the box. Shit's already out. You can pump the brakes. You can pull the brakes all the way off the train. It's not going to stop. They call it transient inflation. They can't reel it back in now.
It's hard.
Nothing you can do.
It's hard to at this point right now.
We don't even know what the real inflation number is. Some people, the Fed would have you believe, it's transient. It's probably like 3%, 2.5%, 5%. A lot of smart money people are saying that it's 10%. It could be as high as 20%. We really don't know.
Yes.
It's ugly.
Yeah, it's and you know what's funny also?
Lace them up tight. It's gonna be a long night.
Did you check this Twitter from Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter,
Yeah.
that he said, hyperinflation is coming, right? And
I mean, we're basically the United States, which is the last sovereign Rome, last major kingdom left that hasn't been affected by fiat. Every kingdom that has printed money, debased, cut corners, and did all this type of stuff, those currencies have gone under. And the United States is like the last one, and they've all failed, like 1,000 of them. So there's nothing going to save the U.S. Dollar's going to be deflationary. Some major catastrophe is going to happen. So that's why all this money is going into crypto as a way to try to hedge against that.
But is it if it's really inflationary or deflationary? Because now technology is actually playing a big role in
what
the whole
happens is you
economy.
have inflation first. You're going to have hyperinflation.
Right.
A gallon of milk's going to cost $400 or some crazy stuff like that. And then once everything breaks and everything crashes, that's where you have like the depression comes in. That's where everything deleverages itself. Everything defaults. Money's worthless. Martial law, zombie apocalypse, all that shit happens.
That's the apocalypse
Then it's going to be
scenario,
about,
right?
yeah. But then people going to burn money for fuel, for fires. Then it's going to be about gunpowder, salt, aspirin, bullets, shit like that is money then,
Well, that's the apocalypse
beans
level,
and
right?
rice, yeah, all that shit. That's hopefully
sense.
it doesn't get that far, but
I don't think we're gonna get to that. Hopefully, right?
Just
Just
have
like
a
you're
lot
saying.
of major financial shit.
But I guess if you actually think about it, hyperinflation is coming. That's what Jack Dorsey actually mentioned on the last Twitter, right? And probably you should pay attention to what actually he's saying, because remember he owns what's the name of this company? I just forgot it. It was it's a Square. He owns Square, right? And a couple other processing payment companies out there, right? Affirm actually, that's another one he owns. That's a credit company and makes you do micro lending payments and stuff like that, right? So the main hypothesis in here is that he has real data. That's, he can, with one click, he can check the entire data, how it's moving, because remember, with Square, you can do a lot of payroll as well.
Yeah.
So he can actually
he can
check
see the trends.
he can see and track the trend on payrolls. He can check the trends of consumer spending on any other, and within the consumer spending area, he can actually check and see and analyze, what's actually increasing in price from the pattern that he used to be in that
And then
trend.
on Twitter, money and information go hand in hand. So he can see all the information on Twitter because the information trends establish themselves there first because Twitter's first. That's where it's going to show first. So he sees the information, and then the money follows the information. Once I find out something crazy, I'm going to be, I'm hitting my bank account. And so all that, he's got both information streams covered,
Right.
money and info.
Right.
So he knows a lot.
I was actually reading some of the comments, and people were blasting and saying, what do you know, in economies and fuck you and shit like that, right?
All right.
But why?
Shit
Because
hit the fan, you're going to be beating on the...
because people are not used to having a tech guy
Yeah.
acting as an economist, or acting as a guy who's telling, inflation is real. It's not about inflation anymore. It's about hyperinflation.
I mean, who you want to listen to? Businessmen or politicians?
On the other side, you got obviously the central
Feds,
banks
politicians,
and the Fed saying, you got on the other side saying, the Fed saying, you know what? Our model says that the 2% is on track. The 2% of inflation is on track. This is just transitory.
You've seen all the movies. As soon as the government says remain calm, that's when your ass better be running.
It's time to fucking run.
Time to run.
And I guess that's also one of the pieces of the equation that allow the other side of the industry, the decentralized area in a way,
That's
which is the
what's fueling it.
cryptocurrency,
That's what's feeling it.
that anarchy against the system itself, the old guards, the old mafia in a way, right? The ones who hold the gatekeepers, right, of this system, monetary system out there, the fiat and all that bullshit, right? The more they want the system to fail, which is the centralized system conducted by the central banks, right? all those bankers out there who are those central bankers who are printing a lot of money, and now they want to just start increasing rates. Valuations of different assets are going to be affected on this new change, new norm. Housing prices, you don't know how essentially is going to be affected moving forward with an increase in prices on
that's
rates.
that's why housing is going up, is because you have so much easy money providing the loans and chasing the housing. That's what's raising the prices. You have so much easy quantitative money getting into the housing market that houses are going up like crazy right now. Every desirable asset is going
At
up.
this point, there's so much money chasing few deals.
Yeah, because of easy money.
And the spread and the margins out there on investments, like putting your money, putting 1,000, putting 1 million, putting whatever money in the stock market, it gets less marginable every single time.
That is your proof of inflation. It's the elephant in the room, and the Fed would like you to not believe that it's there.
But indirectly, if you think about it, the Fed is also pushing the risk level of the curve into what is something even riskier, because you got to understand the smart money always look for a yield, right? A return.
They have to.
They start with bonds, which is the most secure. Let's start with cash first. It's zero return, but it's safe. Then when you have a problem with cash, move it into bonds. But bonds are giving you less than what it is the average, right? It gives you less than 2%. When inflation is like 5%, what's the point of putting your money on treasury bonds? And then you start taking a little more risky assets like the stock market.
Or corporates
or corporate. Well, actually, yeah, from bonds you go with corporate bonds now, and munis, and then from there you go to what it is, the stock market, and every single time the margin and the spread gets shorter, tighter,
it collapses
tighter,
on
and tighter,
itself.
and then goes to private equity, and then goes to venture capital.
But if you think about it, all of these things are like pillars on a Parthenon. It's like the supports of a structure. It all starts to collapse on itself because it's all attached to the dollar. It's all attached to fiat. Even corporates, they have to earn in dollars. Everything's attached to the dollar. So if the dollar is defective, then your entire structure is defective. So it doesn't matter where you try to hide. I'm going to go here in bonds. I'm going to go over here in treasuries. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. It's all attached to the dollar. So it's all defective. Right. It's all collapsing right now. You can't hide. And that was the smoke and mirror game they used to play for the last, 50, 60 years. They would move the things around, move the money. Smart money's over here, it's over there. And they play this magic trick where they conjure up value from thin air.
Which that gets you
over now.
That gets you to push the money into the ultimate risky asset, which is cryptocurrencies.
Well, that's why everybody's going there. They're fleeing there because they are looking for a way to protect their assets,
And generate yields at the same time. You gotta understand also, institutions, pension funds, they're looking for a yield. The responsibility of generating returns every single quarter, every single year.
Yep,
when they know that they can park their money in something safe like treasury bonds, that the inflation is eating up those returns as well. They got to start looking for something else. That hence also the reason why, and I guess that allows to open now the topic to the first one, which is the ETF, right? Bitcoin ETF, right? Now they want to start slowly open up, bundle now what it is, something decentralized, that Bitcoin, into what it is, something that it's a security now, which is an ETF backed by Bitcoin, right? And the SEC is pushing that and slowly adding that type of...
Well, the SEC is being pushed because the people want to have an alternative solution that makes sense. So the SEC is being pushed into that. It's like a river that can't be stopped. Bitcoin right now is our digital money. It's the best solution that we have right now. If you think about it, the dollar system has been around for what, since our country's been here.
Yeah.
So it's time for some new money. It's time for something else.
Or that our dollar needs to innovate itself in the system.
Well, there you go. Well, here's the thing.
Because crypto itself, it's a bubble right now. Our first topic in here that our team gathered in here was thoughts on meme crypto. In example, SHIBA. This last one, let's talk about this last cryptocurrency, the Squid Game cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
Starting at 1 cent,
yeah,
went all the way up to $2,000 in a matter of like hours, like no less than days, right? And then all of a sudden, from $2,000 went all the way to zero. And then on the other side, you got another cryptocurrency like SHIBA. Last week, I put only $100 just to fuck around with SHIBA, right? In a matter of 2-3 days, generate me 700% return. $700 from $100. I turned $100 into $700 with SHIBA, and I was like, what fundamental meaning? Just like the Squid Game currency, right, has that SHIBA also, can offer you the fundamental aspect, But we're into a point, just like we mentioned earlier, that the money, it's being pushed all the way to the last area of risky assets, hence cryptos. Don't get me wrong.
But here's the thing:
cryptos.
risk is relative term. We've been programmed like a damn matrix to believe in the dollar and the banking system and all these different government agencies, regulatories. That's all a bunch of bullshit. Risk is what you define it to be. You wake up every day with a certain amount of risk. As you get older, like I am, you can hurt your back sleeping. You can get hurt in the bed. So risk is whatever you define it to be. A lot of people say cryptos are very risky. It's not any more risky than anything else. What's risky is believing in a dollar and working for nothing because it's worth nothing. That's risk. Or getting into the education system where you go get $200,000 worth of debt to get a bachelor's degree and you can't do anything with it. That's risk. Risk or lies. But there's no risk in cryptocurrency. There's risk when you're being conned, or when you're being hoodwinked, or when you're being
which
that's risk.
And actually, what you actually mentioned, it's totally true. I took a photo actually this morning on what it is, the squid crypto, inspired by the Squid Game series in Netflix, right? That's the main reason why I tell everybody, if you're gonna put money in crypto, obviously there's gonna be scams and there's gonna be opportunities. But then one friend of mine was like, how do I actually can, filter out the sneeze test, the sneeze test, right, of things that are a scam or not? And
Well, it's just like anything else. You have to do your homework.
you have to do your homework, and
In anything.
And at the same time, I got this photo that I took, right? There's a lot of red flags when it comes about a really like a crypto that's about to scam you. One, the Telegram group was closed. Sometimes right now all those there's crypto's all about community as well, because it's all about the network, right? So you can actually find a lot of networks out there and a lot of communities. Yeah. But when you have a closed Telegram group, that's one of the red flags. When you have a closed Discord, which is another form of putting people talk over the crypto, the developers are actually, telling about the upgrades of the crypto, the new features and fundamentals and all that shit. Closed Discord group as well. Block tweets, comments. Every time these guys had a Twitter account. However, they weren't allowed to, receive comments from all these little details like upgrades and shit like that.
Yeah, because they don't want it to be revealed.
And then no founder LinkedIn. There's no profile on those founders, right? You can even find the founder of those or the creators in LinkedIn, for instance. And then finally another one, CNBC article to pump, meaning a good story that you paint on a CNBC or a Fox or any other advertising news network, right? And talk about the crypto. Same thing. You got people talking about the Squid Game is going to be the Squid crypto is going to be.
They attach themselves to that name because it's very popular right now.
So once you start putting those red flags, marking those red flags, it's a confirmed scam. No Telegram group, no Discord, no block their Twitter comments, no profile on the LinkedIn, and at the same time they pay for articles on CNBC in order for them to keep pumping the price on that shit coin or that scam coin, cryptocurrency coin, right? Those are red flags immediately over. You shouldn't put money on that. And that's what happened. It went all the way from 1 cent all the way to 2,000 in a matter of freaking minutes, went all the way to zero again. A classic pump and dump. And that's the risk that those are the risky situations that you can encounter on a daily basis with crypto at the same time. Now, don't get me wrong. There's another.
Hey man, you can get hustle right there on the corner. It's about to say, hey, you want to buy this watch? You want to buy some dope? You know, you can get conned anywhere. There's hustles everywhere. I mean, how many email cons that you have in your inbox? You know, from Nigerian princes to, you know, fake sneakers, fake counterfeit. We see that from China on Amazon. Counterfeit this, counterfeit that. There's scams and cons and everything. There's scams in Washington. Lobbyists, you know, you can buy votes. I mean, there's cons everywhere because humans have their good side and they got their bad side. So in any game, there's cons and scams in every game. Regulated, unregulated, legal, illegal. What you have to do as a human being, it's your responsibility to know what the hell you're getting into. And if you don't know, don't make a move until you do. Don't run out there and buy some shit before you don't know what you're doing. You know, you got to have the basics, right? It's like even if I'm going to play Monopoly, I got to understand the rules. I'm going to get my ass kicked, right? So sit yourself down, slow your roll, and start to get some basic ideas of what it is you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to bust your ass. You can't even bake a cake if you don't know what the hell you're doing, right? I mean, it's going to be screwed up, right? So people just throw this blanket stuff around. Well, this is a scam and this is a con. No, you're a damn dumbass and you got took because you didn't know what you were doing.
Right.
So that's it.
And speaking of the things that you don't know what you're doing, or actually be careful of those scams.
Know what you're doing.
One question that gets open in this conversation, it's the SHIBA crypto, right?
SHIBA.
It's been now.
It's supposed to be the Doge killer.
It's the Dutch killer. It's I guess the competitor of Dogecoin. And for those that don't know what is a SHIBA, right?
It's another kind of dog, right?
It's another kind of dog with fleas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why is that? There's this article, right, that mentioned, and I'm gonna read it to you real quick. It says a crypto wallet shows an investor made an $8,000 Shiba Inu coin investment that he purchased last year. Today, fast forward, it is worth $5.7 billion. Now, he itself turns out to be a crypto billionaire on paper. But now, let's really understand this type of meaning in a way. On paper, yeah, he's a crypto billionaire. But just like one of our colleagues, right, he was saying, well, then does that mean he's rich already? Not necessarily. Why is that? Because if this guy is worth 5.7 billion on paper, right, in order for him to redeem that paper profit, somebody, like for instance you, my partner Marcus, needs to come and tell them, all right, I'll buy your position, I'll give you the $5.7 billion, right, and turn your position. Whatever you
swap it into something.
Do you want to swap it on dollars? I can give you dollars. You want to swap it on Ethereum? I can give you Ethereum. You want to swap it on Bitcoin? I can give you Bitcoin. However, you and I know that there's no. I'll be really, really, really surprised that an institution, a pension fund, a hedge fund, or a big whale will probably inject billions of dollars or buy you out at a $5.7 billion position, you know, and convert your position for their position and get you out and cash you out in the process. Because fundamentally speaking, as a crypto, what's Shiba? Rather than just a speculative bubble crypto.
It's a token, yeah.
It's a token. Right or wrong?
Yes, and he has to convert it.
So now the game it's with this type of coins. If you really want to put some money to gamble, right? The only thing about this type of I guess bets, right? It's whoever is willing to buy you out on the next round at a higher price. That's part of the whole game. It's about, you know.
Well, I mean, you got to be smart. The good thing about these type of opportunities, Doge was a shit coin. It went from shit to shine. Now it's a shine coin. It was a shit coin in the beginning, but it got so much popularity and adoption that it actually became a legitimate mega cap coin or token. You know, there's a difference. So SHIBA is a legitimate token now because the people made it so. It had no value, no fundamental or legitimate use. It was just a shit coin that people adopted. So the people have spoken, and now it's a shine coin. It's a legitimate token. Same with SHIBA. But what these opportunities do, if you're not careful, our society is built to where you go to work and you work for dollars for 30 years, 40 years, and you hope to retire on Social Security and live out your happy 15, 20 years that's left on nothing. Well, now Social Security is bankrupt. We've already mortgaged whatever they're paying my pops. They're taking from me to pay him, so it's bankrupt. And my son ain't gonna get his Social Security because it ain't gonna last that long. That game's over. So what empowers the dollar, which we think is safe, because the pension funds, like you said, the insurance companies, and the 401k and all that shit, institution is a big con. That's the biggest con of all. When we sit here and think that it's safe, it's not safe. If you were going to fuck me over, I'd rather you do it in 5 seconds instead of 50 years. So as long as you can make people work for dollars, which are worthless, that's what empowers the dollar. People go to work every day for it. If the people woke up one day and finally realized the truth and say, we're not taking the dollar no more, F you, I want Bitcoin or something else, then the dollar would lose its power instantaneously because there's nothing there. So once again, it comes down to what you say. If you hit a home run, what do you convert it into? I wouldn't convert it into dollars. I'd have to convert it into something material to give me some type of protection. But what these she-boos and he-boos and boo-boos and all this shit does, it allows you to catch up. There's a term out there called a catch-up coin. Bitcoin is so fat right now. Yeah, it might go another 5x in the next 5 years or whatever. Who knows? It might be 100,000 by next year or whatever. But hell, I don't know a whole lot of people sitting on extra 60 grand under their pillow. Where are you going to get that kind of cash, to start buying Bitcoins? You missed that. A lot of that train's already left the station. But if you can catch one of these she-boos, that's a catch-up coin, because you can buy it for fractions of a million, hundreds of a penny, and ride that thing up 7,000%. And that's how you get these billionaires that are lucky enough to pull that off. You don't need that extreme example, but if you'd have bought into it, you could have easily got 1,000% return. So a coin like that or a token like that allows the regular person to catch up. You only need to put $500 in there with 1,000%. That's a nice paycheck. Where are you gonna get that anywhere else? You ain't gonna get it managing Walmart, working at Mickey D's. You got it. Shit. That's the kind of thing that the American people need, and the government don't want you to have it, because that's not the system that we have in place. We have a system where you shut the hell up, you take your ass to work, you pay your taxes. Sounds a lot like Morpheus in the Matrix, doesn't it? We want you to take the red pill and go so the Matrix can win. But crypto is letting some of the average people win. So it's all relative to how you want to see the game, but you got to see the game for what it is.
So in other words, the advice for investing in SHIBA will be on your side.
You have to look. Where's the camera at, production man? Talking to you right now. You got to be in cryptocurrency. You got to play some of these Shibas and boo-boos and Fibas and fleas and shit. But hey, don't bet your whole rent money on it. Put $50, $100 on some of these. Do some homework, like my man was saying right here. If they ain't got no damn website or no name or no face, hello, that's kind of obvious. But hey, you're going to have to put some money into cryptocurrency according to how much you have to risk. If you don't have a lot to put up, don't have a lot of money, to put a little bit in there. It's better than blowing your shit at Starbucks, $8 a cup for some damn stinking ass coffee, or screwing off.
Well, chill, because Starbucks is sponsoring this his podcast, bro. So we gotta respect the executives right now on that.
Or a lot of other dumb stuff we do. Ladies, not to knock at y'all, you got 50 pair of shoes and 100 purses and shit like that. And guys, do all the stupid shit we do. Maybe you cut back on those stupid ass budgets and start putting your little bit of money in cryptocurrency. And maybe you hit 100% on something, But you're going to have to do it. You got to do it because you need to catch up. The matrix of the current system that we have, economic system we have now, is completely 100,000% stacked against you, and you're not going to climb to the top of that mountain. It's hard. Look how hard it is for us as entrepreneurs. You know, I've been in business for 30 years. I've been to FU. I got a PhD from FU, not Florida University, fuck you University. So the School of Hard Knocks. This shit ain't easy, you know? So cryptocurrency is a godsend because it allows the average man, it don't take how much, production, how much smarts does it take to go get a Coinbase account and buy a damn token? Any dumbass can do that. So it allows a regular Joe. You look how much expertise we have to pull off a business. It takes a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of time. You buy a couple of coins, a couple of tokens, and you're in the game, you know? And I'm not talking no damn, I can hear people already, the haters talking about, well, that sounds like Las Vegas and all. No, the Las Vegas, that shit is designed to take your ass down. You don't have a fair shot. SHIBA don't care if it's you or me. If you was in it, you got paid. You know, so this gives people, the average person, a chance to catch up, to get 1,000 bagger.
Which that comes with one question that says, would you invest in decentralized shitcoins? That's one of the questions.
It absolutely has to be part of your portfolio. Yes, you should have a little Bitcoin. Yes, you should have a little Ethereum. Yes, you should have some mega cap altcoins.
Solana,
Cardano, all that stuff, the big infrastructure pieces. And if you notice, all we're doing is just cascading the risk. We're just coming from low risk to more risk, right?
To high risk.
So you anchor your shit in Bitcoin and Ethereum and all those because they're not going anywhere. And then take us 5% or 10% of your portfolio.
I think 1%
or
of your
one
portfolio.
even, and do some decentralized stuff. Take some more risky
SHIBA,
stuff. Your Shibas, your Doges, and all that. Well, Doge has already left the station. You missed that shit. You need to look for the new Doge, you know. There's new ones coming. There's tokens being born every day. Do your homework. Get in some Twitter and some Discord groups that are legitimate people that's got reputations, and get in the conversation and watch Gary Vee, see what people are talking about, and get in some of these new ones. The key is you got to get in early when it's a baby, not when it's all on CNBC and shit like that. You paying retail now. The hustle is over. I mean, they could keep growing, but it ain't gonna go from $500 billion to 10 trillion. You know, you need to find one that's like a few million and growing, you know, and ride that.
And believe in the project as well.
Yeah, it needs to be a project. It needs to be doing something. That's another one of those check marks you got to do. That's part of doing your homework. You know, it needs to be about something, provide some value.
One thing that I have learned in the market, it's that you never tap out. And actually, we have talked about that. And when I really mean about never tap out in the market, it's the whole market. It's rotational. Money moved from one place, from one asset to another asset, right? Right now, since the margins, returns out there are tighter and tighter and tighter, more smart money is looking for yields, for big returns or high returns that compensate their current models, their current risk models in a way, or shit like that. We're on the last transitional point of the risky assets, which is cryptos, right? And now the more
it's risky because there's that word again. It's kind of like every time you say that, it's like somebody scratching a chalkboard. You know, it's risky. It's risky. It's not risky. It's new. You know, when we had horses and buggies and somebody came up with a gasoline combustion engine, that's risky. You're going to get killed. And when somebody invented the airplane, when the Wright brothers was, you know, talking about flying, are you out of your mind? Man ain't meant to fly. That's risky. That's risky. And then when somebody over on the other side of the pond, Atlantic Ocean, decided to cross the seas, wait a minute, the world is flat. You're going to fall off the other side. That's risky. You got sea monsters and shit out there. It's always risky when it's new.
Yeah, risky is all measured based on the
always risky.
But it's risky based on the volatility of that specific asset. Because you can tell right now, invest in an altcoin right now and put some money on Solana. Solana is one of the closest, most competitive cryptocurrencies
that's low risk. Well, it's proven already.
But for some guys who put $1,000 right now, Solana it's worth $213 per coin, but it can literally go down 40% in a matter of like days. In one day, it can go 40%, and people will be like, "Oh, I just lost my ass in here. I'm losing 40%."
If you day trading the shit, maybe, but if you buy the Solana and you're looking a year out and 2 years out, you don't feel all that shit. I mean, Yeah, you got to look at your time periods of what you're trying to do. Yeah, if you're day trading, you might get hit on a 40% drop. But if you got a long term long term these days is like 6 months. That's like nothing, right? So if you have at least a decent time frame, all that stuff kind of
That's the reason why when I said you never tap out in the market.
Never get
What I'm
out.
trying to say
Hold
here
it.
is that
What they call diamond hands.
you have a winner on, for instance, on a SHIBA. What are you going to do with the profit? Well, some of that profit you move in something more stable.
Yeah, you're gonna
Some
that's
kind of
called
like
harvest.
some kind of like altcoin,
Yeah.
right? An altcoin. What is an altcoin? I like an
Anything
altcoin.
that ain't Bitcoin.
Anything that is alternative to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Solana, Dot, Cardano, Link, all those like cryptocurrencies, right? You believe in some of those projects. Now you're moving some of that profit money that you generate on a Shiva, on a risky, whatever you can call it, right? Highly volatile crypto, moving into some kind of altcoin. Now, once you move the money into some altcoin, there's seasons. We're talking about seasons now, that there's altcoin seasons, where there's seasons where you need to put your money into alternative cryptocurrencies. But sometimes they went up too fast. And what are you going to do with the profits? Well, you need to move in now
gotta harvest
into
a little bit.
another seasonal cryptos, which in this case is mom and pop, the Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then but you have another extra run on that one. What are you going to do with the profit?
Take a
What
little
you need,
harvest.
move it into now NFTs, for instance. We talk about now the relationship between NFTs
Man,
and
people
Bitcoin.
making money with monkeys and JPEGs
And when
pictures
everything
and
is
shit, man.
freaking inflated into the crypto, what do? You pull some of that profit and put it into now the stock market,
rotate 'em around.
which is another market as well. And then you put it now into treasury bonds, but now you put it now into real estate. But you're currently rotating, recycling, and moving the money from one asset to another. You never tap out of the market. The main issue, what's happening here is when you get into the crypto, right? You have the mentality of, I want to get rich like this. You might hit a home run and generate 1,000% return in a week, right? But that's just one home run that, what are you going to do with the profit now? People like to cash out right away and repeat the same. Now they're hooked, they're like cracked, right? They want to put the profit now back into the action right now in another Shiva. And what happened is sometimes the majority of those systems out there are pump and dump. They go too fast, they go down too fast as well at the same time. And you lose your ass because you're constantly buying and selling. You want to just constantly be like a day trading mentality, which is not going to work. You got to give them some time. You got to feel the market. You got to slowly feel the profit moving
Get
from one place to
on
another.
good projects early. That's all you got to do. Good projects early.
We have another topic out there, which is the people we wanted to know about our thoughts about this new business model that now Facebook, right? It's doing now. It's not Facebook anymore. Actually, it's called Meta.
Been telling y'all. Y'all
Now,
don't listen. Been
This
telling
thing, it's all related to what is the Metaverse.
you. Been telling you.
Why don't you tell them real quick what is the Metaverse? People out there who don't know exactly what's the Metaverse. How do you actually explain the Metaverse?
First of all, let's talk about Facebook and this Meta thing. Now, it's very convenient that this lady came out blowing whistles and jumping up and down, talking all this shit about Facebook. I don't, maybe she might be an insider or something. Who knows what's actually going on? It's very, very convenient that right after that, they went ahead and launched officially the Meta, which they were already working on it for a long time, but they needed a smokescreen to actually have a reason that wasn't the real reason to put it out there. So we won't get too much into conspiracy theories and all that, but Facebook already has most of the users' attention in the entire planet. They have half the world uses Facebook in one way or the other, or one of their properties. That's, they have WhatsApp and Instagram and all that shit. So more than half the people are already on there, and they're using Web 2.0, which is social media. Facebook and Zuckerberg and all those guys, they know that they need to stay ahead of the curve. Technology is condensing and disrupting itself at a order of magnitude that's much faster than it used to be.
Facebook is already an old technology for most of the
Yes,
people.
you're getting, in other words, back in the day, just using like television or radio with one of those older technologies, it could last 40, 50 years. Well, shit, the order of magnitude now, you're getting old.
Shorter.
You're getting old in 5 years, 7 years. You're not hanging around. Instagram ain't that old. So, and it's already playing out. So the thing is, Facebook is scrambling right now because they know they need to attach themselves to something new, something to make themselves last or relevant in the future. And they have the money. They have a war chest of cash right now anyway.
And there's
So
the network and the distribution as
the
well.
Mark Zuckerberg's smart enough to know that they better get their ass in the metaverse. And the real simple, the metaverse is, if you saw that movie Ready Player One, watched that with my son. That's a good example of it. All of these networks and communities are existing in their own little cyber space or cyber worlds in the internet. And these things are getting ready to, now they're going to make them interchangeable. So if you're in the Fortnite group or Minecraft or a gamer or some other, whatever you're into, you can walk seamlessly into another universe or another spectrum of people and associate with them seamlessly. So they're getting ready to connect all of these pockets of people that are out there seamlessly. And they're going to be able, all these different programming languages are going to be able to talk to each other, and you'll be able to take your tokens and your NFTs and you'll be able to exchange. You'll have in-game items or in-game spear things. So all this stuff is going to be, you'll be able to go seamlessly from one verse, because you call it universe or whatever, to another.
That's why it's called Metaverse.
And they all communicate and connect. The connectivity is going to be there to where one can talk to the other, and all this stuff will be interconnected.
Well, actually, the whole concept of Metaverse, it's an entire ecosystem that, I guess,
it's gonna swallow the world because, and Facebook is very smart in that respect. They know that they want to be a major player in it. Like my son, my son, for example, they play these games, these games and whatever, and they collect guns and money and stuff in the game, in-game items. But to him and his friends, they don't go, when I used to go hang out at the mall or whatever, roller skating, all that stupid shit like that. Mm-hmm. They meet in the game. And when one's got to go do something, another one is watching their little headquarters and shit. They're living in this damn game. They're talking to each other, communicating, and stockpiling all their resources in the game. And there's hundreds of other kids all over the world. They got buddies in there. And he can sit there. I had to kick his ass, but he'll sit in there 15 hours. Or he only comes out to shit and eat or sleep, and they're in the game. So if you think about that, China is even putting out shit now where they don't want.
They're controlling right now.
Where they trying to control how long people are on that shit. So people are plugging into this thing, and they're spending more time in the metaverse, because that's a form of metaverse. They're spending more time in the metaverse than they are in the real whatever. And then now you get into some matrix shit. What is real other than electrical signals interpreted by your brain? So what's real? So my point is that real or this is real? Well, reality is where you put in your mind at, right? So if my son's generation and the people spending more time in the metaverse, then that's real. And this shit out here is not real because it's competing with that. And it's only, if they're doing that now and the shit ain't even put together right yet, what's going to happen when they get all this symmetry and everything is seamlessly connected? People ain't going to never come out of there. That's it. They're going to, now you're talking about some lawnmower man shit. Now people are just going to become pure energy. I don't know, energy. You're going to be in there all the time and not out here, wired up. It's funny how movies and reality meet at some point.
Well, you can actually call Metaverse as an alternative reality in a way.
But then you got to ask yourself, when you say alternative reality, what's the real?
Yeah, if you want to build philosophy on that, I'll get it. But the reality, the fundamentals, it's that the alternative reality is now called Metaverse. And that Metaverse now includes an entire ecosystem where you can actually trade, you can actually make money, you can actually build NFTs inside the Metaverse.
Build structures,
show your wealth, because that's, we talk about the NFT, right? We talk about
profile
how
pictures
it's
now.
becoming now, NFT now, it's also becoming a way to shine your status.
Flexing.
By showing, for instance, that I own this NFT worth $100,000.
That becomes your profile picture now.
And that's my profile picture. And
I'd rather own that than a damn Lambo.
I'm the owner of that. And then how much it costs you? $100,000. And that flex my status and my wealth in the digital.
I'd rather have that than a Lambo.
sometimes some of
Shit.
that effort. Now, also in the metaverse, as call it metaverse dash alternative reality. Okay, there's this shit called GameFi, which we talked about last time, which is the way of making money in the metaverse.
That's where it's going.
That's even freaking like deep because with
Welcome,
all due reason,
welcome on board. I'm glad
but
you coming in.
but I wouldn't like. I don't know if you actually will.
That's
know.
where it's going. Hey, production team, wake the
Nah,
hell
I
up.
don't-
That's where it's going. Everything you do is going to be in there. You're not going to need dollars. Once you go to this metaverse, you swap your tokens. You go to this game or whatever, you swap your tokens. That's where all this shit's going. It's already been there. It's funny. It's always been there. It's going to be connected now. When you move, hey, I'm going to hang out over here. I'm going to swap a part of these tokens for those tokens. That's all you're going to be doing. You're not even going to need money. The money is in the tokens. It's in the gamification. It's funny how when you look on your mobile phone, every damn thing is a game. It's gamified now. When you go log into your bank account, your Robinhood, all those buttons and shit,
Yeah.
it's made to work like a game. Everything's gamified now. Everything's gamified. Hell, I wash my car. It's like a damn video game. Please select whatever damn. Like, this is a damn game. Everything's gamified. You think that's by chance?
Well, I think it would be cool to drop your comments down below.
But anyway,
and
don't get
say,
me preaching in here.
Will
on that
you
shit.
will you live in the metaverse in 5 years for the rest of your life, or you really want to have a real life and watch the sun, watch the moon, go to a real party in Las Vegas, go to a real party in New York, right? Go to a real party, right? Have real sex, not metaverse sex, right? Drop your comments below and really.
All right, I'm gonna counter that shit.
And really, really, really say if you really want to have alternative reality sex,
I'm going to
be my guest on that because some of my buddies and partners out there, they actually believe in synthetic sex.
I'm gonna Bruce Lee his ass right now.
All right, Bruce Lee the shit. Then.
I'm gonna Chinese connection kick his ass
All
right
right, Bruce Lee the shit.
Synthetics alternatives are the chosen thing. Why do children have so much imagination when you're growing up until the grown-ups tell you to stop dreaming? Dreams, imagination, all that alternative is the thing. I guess that's how we actually supposed to be. That is the reality. And yes, there's going to be a pocket of people that says, I'm going to detach and do things the real way. You sound just like those people that life below zero, Alaskan bush people, all them crazy ass people where you have like this one white person that's in the middle of the middle of Alaska fighting bears and shit. Dude, just take your ass to HEB and buy your damn food and let all that shit go just so you don't have to pay taxes. So yes, there's going to be always a little pocket of people that wants to not be part of that. But here's the thing, man. This shit is coming down hard. You're going to have to plug into this thing, and this is just how it is. This is where it's going to be.
It's not like I don't
Whether you
believe in
like
the
it or
metaverse.
not.
I'm actually pro the metaverse.
Okay.
I just believe in balancing your life in that way.
That's where everything's going to be there.
No, I mean...
You won't be able to go anywhere without augmented reality, artificial intelligence, all that shit, man. You're not going to be able to dodge it unless you're going to want to go live in the wilderness.
Have you actually watched this movie from, I think it's Bruce Willis called The Surrogates or some shit like that? I'll recommend
saw
you
the
watch
trailer.
it.
I
All
didn't
right,
watch
so the whole concept about it is that they all plug in their apartments, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all fat and they don't shave and they don't take showers and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, they got surrogates, right? Real people, right? That go to the office,
live through
they
them,
work
yeah.
for you, and it's a robot.
Yeah.
But
You
it's
live through
conducted by you.
Yeah.
But the robot is like a model, and everybody looks beautiful in the in society, right? Everybody has real nice dress and shit like that because it's a robot. It's a whole model. But there's a point where the guy started thinking, well, this is not the life I've been wanting to pursue. And what he started doing is he unplugged himself and he actually delved into the society where he started looking at all the surrogates and he started looking at the robots and he's looking at everything that's just fucking fake. And people are like, what the hell happened to you? Because even the surrogate's like, that's not your surrogate. That's because you have hair and you have shape and shit like that. What happened to you? those type of philosophies out there tell you that obviously, yes, I do believe that there's going to be, it's a huge market. It's going to be $1 trillion market, metaverse.
No, sir.
Let's not confuse augmented
It's
reality
going
with
to
metaverse.
be everything. Let me say it closely. Let me get ready now. It's going to be everything. It's not me doing it. I got to tell it like it is. It's going to be everything. Because here's what you got to understand. This facade is better than the real thing. You want to go to the ghetto, see some rats and roaches and shit like that? That's real. I don't want that shit. And no, there's nobody else. Why do women wear makeup? Why do men try to wear cologne? That ain't how you smell. You want to look, you want to have a better extension of yourself. Everything already, just the way we're wired, the way we're built is already going that way. You just said earlier, oh, it's better to go have a natural relationship. Why is Pornhub the #1 damn website on the internet? They'd rather do it synthetically.
It's an escape.
People want it that way, and the metaverse is going to give it to them in ways that they haven't imagined, and people ain't going to let that shit go. I've been telling my son, why don't you go outside, man? It's sunny out there. There's a football in the garage. There's a bat, some baseball and shit like that. Go take your ass outside. They want to get in that damn that world, and they don't want to come out of there. And it's only getting started. So everything you're going to want is going to be in there. Ain't no reason. Why do people walk around all day with this damn thing here? And this is a very rudimentary piece of technology. There ain't not much going on here. It's a flat piece of thing here. And this gets so much of people's attention, just this one little thing here. What happens when it encompasses everything? You ain't coming out. If people already spend 50% of their time on this piece of shit, what's going to happen when it's a metaverse? You ain't coming out of there, period. So mark my words, write it down. Marcus Holloman on such and such a date told y'all ass on November 2nd, 5:26 Central Standard Time.
2021.
Year of our Lord, AD, all that shit. This shit ain't gonna go away. It's just getting started. Ain't nobody gonna let it go once they get plugged into it.
And this is Facebook now. The Facebook now turns into Meta for the metaverse. And
in Facebook, like a top 5 richest country, biggest market cap company in the world. It's like in the top 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, shit. They got all the money in the world. They telling you what the play is. Look at Twitter. Everybody's telling you.
Also, they gotta catch up with what it is, the attention out there. Remember, Facebook is an attention grabber.
And it starts there.
They started with Facebook. Now it's your mom and pop. It's in Facebook now already, and your grandma and all that, and your family in there, and everybody has a profile. They move into Instagram, which is a more fresh and shit like that. But Instagram is now old already. It's been sucked by TikTok now and Snapchat and
next
Twitter.
Thing. You notice it's every 2 years now.
And then to a point now, what's Facebook offering you? They know they have to move to another cycle.
They had to get
This
ahead.
is the other cycle. This is the other cycle where you can catch all those youngsters out there, right? Offer them any type of product related to attention, cryptos, NFTs, gaming, make money with gaming.
If you think about it, all the pieces are there. Wake up, people. Look, Facebook, that takes care of all your social. I don't have to go see my auntie in Louisiana because all I got to do is look and see what they're doing on Facebook. They got me there. People there's a thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs or some shit like that. It's like a pyramid. People got to be like purpose, self-awareness, love, all that bullshit. People just break down to like some core shit, right? Facebook, they understand that if you take care of your social, you got to know what's going on in your little clan and your little tribe. Check. I got you with that, right? Then what else does people got to do? They got to have relationships and love and scratch that itch, right? Well, you can do all that online now. All that's metaverse and meet people and what's them places you go there, production lady, tenders and vendors and shit. So they already got all that shit. That's in there. What else people need to do?
What's your username in Tinder?
Yeah, what's your cat lady? So then what else people got to do? They got to have money. Well, all that's going on there. What else people need to do? They got to earn a living. Well, the games are getting ready to pay you now. So you ain't got to go to work now. So now you got to eat, right? My son, all he has to do is eat like half a pizza a day, and he can do that playing the game for 30 minutes. So now pizza and shit, that comes to you. You ain't got to go nowhere. Everything's delivered now. DoorDash, cash, ass, delivery, all that shit is coming to you. They're already setting up everything to where you never have to disconnect from this damn thing. You're going to get everything you need so you don't have to go nowhere. And now you're talking about holograms and being able to talk to people. You ain't going to go nowhere. Snoop Dogg want to have a big ass, Kanye had a big ass party in
No,
the
it was
thing
Travis
already.
Scott.
Who?
Travis Scott.
See, I ain't in that group. You know,
Travis
Scott.
Scott in Fortnite.
So now you ain't even got to go to a concert. You just go and plug in and everybody's there. So there you go. Proof. Get ready.
Get ready for the synthetic.
You ain't got to go to school. You're not going to have to get a job. All that shit's going to be up in the
Get ready for the
metaverse.
synthetic drugs and synthetic sex.
Synthetic. You can meet your woman of your dreams.
Synthetic.
I mean, look at this bullshit they even got on TV. What's that one where you're supposed to be like singing and you don't know what? I don't watch that stupid shit. I see the
A
commercials.
cousin of mine told me.
What's
about
it called? Yeah, the Masked Singer. That's the metaverse right there, where it's a celebrity and some stupid ass what's the thing like a profile or they have this. What's the thing where it's a fake thing, but it's for you. It's supposed to be you. But anyway, yeah, you got the celebrities behind this mask. Well, think about it in the metaverse. Now you can meet the woman of your dreams, but it's just like the Matrix said, it's a digital extension of yourself, right? It ain't really you, but it's good enough and shit. So it's already telling you everything's going this way, man. It's all going this way.
Well, I guess on my last reflection, on my last couple of minutes in here before we wrap up, a little reflection about this. I do believe in the metaverse. I believe in the fashion what you actually come up with. And
my passion is I just want to give people heads up.
And actually, where the trend is going. The alternative reality is real.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrencies are real. Non-fungible tokens, which is
Real.
digital art, it's real.
Tokens are real.
Everything is getting digitalized as we speak.
DeFi is real.
and
Games are real.
There's decentralized areas as well. DeFi, decentralized finance, decentralized applications. All those type of things are obviously accelerating the evolution of humanity as well.
And that's
but
what
at
this
the
show is
same
gonna be
time,
about.
it needs to be related to the point that I believe those with passion, but at the same time, I do believe in a balance. Right now, well, I can. Maybe my kids, that's a different type of guidance and a different type of mental, spiritual, and all that situation that needs to be implemented at early stages, not to be sucked too much into this new alternative reality and alternative version of it about life. Because all those things, like for instance, metaverse, it's all related to the need of that person. When you feel like empty, that's why you got social media. Social media is all fucking
And
fake.
why you think they got
That's the
likes
main reason
and
why
emojis and all that
people look
shit.
for likes. It's an ego grabber as well. So I think it's also essential for us to really understand at early stages of our life that this is just mainly related to fuck with your mind, fuck with your emptiness. And those are things that as you feel more empty, yeah, you're going to rely on those platforms out there. Social media is one proof. That's just, I guess, Web 2.0 on social media. Web 3.0 is going to be the metaverse, where Facebook is actually conducting that. What Facebook is actually doing right now, it's putting crack, and they're leveraging and they're accelerating their main business model, which is people's attention, people's need. The whole people who want to have a fake life and emptiness and ego and all that shit. Now, the best option now is to create now something that is more accelerated, which is an alternative reality. Call it metaverse. And let's do it. Let's put the propaganda. Let's market the shit out of it. And that's unfortunately, just like you're saying, it's a trend.
But Facebook,
and it's happening. And we're getting there.
Facebook is not doing anything. They're a participant in it.
That's the way to survive.
But
how they're gonna survive past Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook?
You got to go with where the trends are going. But when you talk about this balance, well, where are you gonna fall back to? Rome? You gonna live in a cave?
A normal conversation like right now we're having.
Where's
number conversation and reunion where people are talking, their phones are down in a table, and let's have a normal conversation. Let me get to know you.
But I used to think like that. But that's going backwards.
How?
So now we're gonna go back to books and scrolls, and we're gonna write on caves and shit like that, and sit around and sing kumbaya. What do you want to do?
But you're confusing the human connection with a book.
You
That's
got
not
new
related
human
to that.
connection. Shit, the Roman Catholic Church, and they used to burn people at the stake, inquisitors and shit, for reading the damn Bible. And somebody said, you know what? because they only had like 3 Bibles. And somebody figured out how to do movable type and printing presses and shit like that, and they got the information out to the people. But for a long time, that's why they had the damn Dark Ages. Ooh, you can't do that. If we get you read the Bible, it's gonna be witches and shit running around. It's a bunch of bullshit. The problem with human beings is we think that our particular little slice of time is the only damn time. Yes, we live in the year 2021. Shit, there was a Dark Ages, a Middle Ages, there was a Bronze Age, there was this, that. It's always some shit going on. Problems, hustles, new shit coming out, new technologies. This is the era we live in. People have been through the same problems eons ago, and they got problems ahead of us yet to come. Technology unlocks the human potential. Yeah, Facebook is just a participant in time. We needed to be able to communicate at light speed and talk to people that ain't here and all that. That's unlocking the human potential. At some point, maybe we will finally start using 100% of our brain and do shit that we're supposed to be doing. Maybe it just takes time to get there. So I ain't fighting none of this shit. I ain't saying, hey, we need it. It's time for humans to evolve into some new shit and not go back. There's a reason why we don't need paper books no more. We don't need that shit no more. We've transcended that.
We have a new god called YouTube.
We don't need no damn telegram and Morse code, all that shit. We don't need it. Now we got new shit. We don't need libraries anymore. I got a library right here. You know, we need to move forward. And usually the people that's trying to hold you back was people from an older time. Your ass is gonna die. I'm gonna die. Everybody here gonna die. And the new shit's gonna take over. Flowers gonna grow over my grave, and that's it, man. You got to keep this shit. You got to keep this shit popping. Let's go.
In
Keep
the
it
metaverse.
moving. Keep it moving. Let's go.
Flowers in the metaverse.
Flowers in the metaverse.
Flowers in the metaverse.
1-800-Flowers.
Let's wrap up with flowers in the
up.
metaverse.
But anyway, real quick in closing, we're gonna have a lot of good content coming out because we got a
Absolutely.
lot of shit to talk about, a lot of shit to unpack.
Absolutely.
So be ready on new shows.
Our coming conversations, we need to keep talking
This will
about the
continue.
cryptocurrencies as well. The NFT people are asking us about what's digital art. How do you actually make money on that? We need to actually explain in that how to open a wallet from. I mean, I was like, wow, you still don't know how to open a wallet?
Yes.
To buy crypto? Shit, come on, you're really
But
slacking.
if you remember,
here.
back in the old days, how do you open up a bank account? That was some mysterious shit.
Back in the old days, what's an inbox? What's a spam?
What's an email?
Like, what's an email? How do you actually send that shit to another computer and all that?
How you open up a bank account?
What's Yahoo?
How you write a check? A lot of you people watching this right now, y'all don't even know how to write a check because y'all wasn't born in that time.
What's AOL?
So-
Shit. What's Messenger? Shit like that.
When was the last time you sent a letter? You ever put a letter in an envelope and put a stamp on there and wrote
What happened?
from and sender? You didn't do that.
What happened to the romantic
Email.
passion about writing letters? Then it's over.
Nobody writes letters anymore and put it in an envelope with a return. I don't even know where its address goes, where the one you send it to goes in the middle, right?
All right, so this is a wrap of episode number 12. Good content, good shit. We talk about
Yeah.
the whole.
He's on the side, at least now we got some controversy. He's on the side of balance and
Human spirit.
reality and shit like that. The real. I'm on the
I mean, the real
future,
conversation, one-on-one.
metaverse,
I need to know you. I
embrace.
need to get to know you. Lip service, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy, it's on the synthetic, alternative shit, right? But hey, let's see how this thing is gonna keep,
see how it
growing and
plays
growing.
out.
And the most important thing, how we can make money on this.
That's the key. You got to get paid from it. That's why I'm all over it.
Because I can make money.
shit.
You on the metaverse with your digital yacht. I want my real Lambo.
I mean, if you
on that
can't,
shit.
if you
know what I'm
can't,
saying?
if you can't make money today, I mean, shit. Look at the golden age that we live in, man. We live in an age where you can make money on your mobile phone. You push a couple of buttons, you can get paid. Where has that ever existed in human times?
Let's
I mean,
talk about
shit.
e-commerce on the next
We'll be talking
episode
about
as
all
well.
that,
You know,
yeah.
how we actually have good strategies on how to make money on e-commerce using
E-commerce,
platforms like
all
Amazon,
that.
Walmart, Shopify, Pinterest. I mean, all
if you
those
can't
platforms.
make money today, wow. I mean, it's amazing. So we got a lot of fantastic stuff to be talking about.
All right, see you next week. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.